up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairers of the breach, the restorers of the paths to dwell in.
Don't miss it. Repairing the Breach radio program with Bishop Sherwin R. Thomas on the Street 919 FM every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Join Pastor Kelvin Heinerine and friends for The Way, The Truth, The Life Radio Ministry, a Church of God ministry, live on the Street 919 FM from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This and every Sunday on the Street 919 FM. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me. John chapter 14, verse 6. For further information, contact 686-3845, 349-5178, or 342-7303.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna, for the program Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The Street 919FM.com. News from the Street 919FM.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 12 o'clock news on the Street 919 FM and online Facebook and YouTube on Iwer TV. In the headlines, a San Fernando contractor kills his lawyer wife and then turns the gun on himself. Father gunned down at a cemetery while lighting candles at his two sons' grave on All Saints' Night. His 7-year-old grandson also shot by stray bullets. The Met Office predicts a rainy Christmas season, and internationally, Donald Trump drops a strong hint about running for president in 2024. And now the news in detail. A San Fernando contractor reportedly killed his lawyer wife this morning before turning the gun on himself. Shamsad Mohammed, a licensed firearm user, is said to have shot his wife, Keisha Bostic, around 6:30 when she was leaving for work, and then shot himself outside their family home at Drayton Street. Mohammed and Bostic were married in January but separated recently. In other news, a 51-year-old father was gunned down at a cemetery while lighting candles at his two sons' grave on All Saints' Night Wednesday. Maurice Sylvester Kunkun went to the Crown Street Tacarigua Cemetery at around 8:55 p.m. with other relatives to light candles for his sons Mikhail and Dominic Kunkun when a man wearing a red hat and black mask shot the elder Kunkun. Police say Kunkun collapsed on the grave of his son Mikhail. His 7-year-old grandson was also hit by a bullet in the left foot and was taken to hospital. Public servants will have to wait longer for wage negotiations to be settled. This is because 5 trade unions representing the workers are all set to appear before the industrial court. The matter was referred to the court's tribunal by the finance minister, Colm Imbert. And it appears as though Trinidad and Tobago will have a rainy Christmas season. This as the Met Office warns of near normal to above normal rainfall over the next few months. In its rainfall and temperature outlook for November to January, the Met Office said flooding potential is moderate to high. As a result, TNT can expect an increased risk of flash and riverine flooding, landslips and landslides in November. Meanwhile, Houses from light poles 20 to 70 on the Saddle Road in Manzanilla are dealing with landslips that have caused the tilting of a light post. Residents say the landslips had made the road so bad that taxi drivers are refusing to go off-route onto the Saddle Road. The residents say they have also been without water for the past 2 months. Meanwhile, councillor for the area, Kenwin Phillips, said he was aware of the landslips and his team were working to have the electricity and water restored as soon as possible. He, however, noted that their ability to fix all the landslips is limited as the funding that they are receiving is not sufficient to fix all. The residents, meanwhile, say calls to the MP for the area, Rai Ragbir, continue to go unanswered. Internationally, Donald Trump has dropped his strongest hint yet that he may run again for president. The former U.S. president told the crowd in Iowa that he would very probably do it again in 2024. Mr. Trump was speaking at the first of 4 rallies in 5 days as he campaigns for Republican candidates in next week's midterm elections. President Joe Biden is also traveling across the U.S. to get out the vote. And that was the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online, Facebook and YouTube on Iwer TV. Recapping the headlines: a San Fernando contractor kills his lawyer wife and then turns the gun on himself. Father gunned down at a cemetery while lighting candles at his 2 sons' grave on All Saints' Night. His 7-year-old grandson also shot by stray bullets. The Met Office predicts a rainy Christmas season, and internationally, Donald Trump drops a strong hint about running for president in 2024. Do enjoy your afternoon and continue to be safe. I am Vanessa Thomas.
News from the street. 919fm.com.
Bring back peace on the street.
Bless the world with harmony. There's no greater time for love, no greater time for peace.
Hi everyone, this is Sherry and Lou. It's all about peace on the streets on 91.9 FM. It's time for change. Because if we don't stop the blood from flowing, many will have to die. And if we don't stop the tears from falling, well then, I guess plenty will have to cry, 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 cry. Show more love.
Trinidad and Tobago, what have we become? It's time for us to live in peace, love, unity. And that time is now.
Yeah, my cry Trinidad, my sweet land of soca. Sweet calypso and we are living in a world of disaster. Only envy, hatred and crime. So let's stand up and get out of this confusion. And let us work hand in hand. First we need to stop fighting down each other. If we are to live as one, because if we don't stop the blood from flowing, many will have to die. And if we don't stop the tears from falling, well then, I guess plenty will have to cry, 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 cry. Oh, it's the reality of life. Open up your eyes. Sometimes I just sit and wonder why crime is going so far. 'Cause every day we read the newspaper. It's kidnap, robbery, murder. But if we don't think about tomorrow, then tell me what will the future be? We need to stop all this pain and sorrow. My friends, come on and let's live in unity. Because if we don't stop the blood from flowing, many will have to die. And if we don't stop the tears from falling, well then plenty will have to cry, 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 cry. Oh, get the youth be wise. Let us all unite. When we look at the times we live in, temptation day by day. I want you to know all the things that happening. One day the wicked will have to pay. Let's not forget all the missing teenagers and others' life were taken so innocently. We know for sure all the pain they suffered will live on in our memory. Because if we don't stop the blood from flowing,
Bring back peace on the street.
Let the world in harmony. There's no greater time for love, no greater time for peace.
'cause this is Christmas Day. Say a little prayer for the world. God teach us love. Though you think that He doesn't hear, I know He does. This is Christmas. Let the world sing. Let us all begin to hear. Hallelujah. This is Christmas. And with love we can begin today. Christmas bells ring, people's hearts sing, and I forget about all the troubles I seem to have, and I tell myself to feel how my brother feels. Try to love him and maybe then I'll understand him. Make a little room in our hearts. No heart's too small. Can we love each other today? 'Cause after all, this is Christmas. first moment that we met. And oh yes, I believed you as you told me, as you said, you'd be here every year, every Christmas.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world, the Street919FM.com. The Street 91 FM. The Street 91 FM. Entertainment, information, conversation. All on Street 91.9 FM. The official station that defends the nation.
What child is this who lay to rest on his mother Mary's lap asleep? Angels greet with anthems sweet while shepherds watch. Sleeping all day. God rest ye merry gentlemen, that's nothing you dismay. For Jesus Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort. Oh, come, Emmanuel.
Talk with Pastor Google.
Right, so it's now 12:30 in Trinidad and Tobago, 12:30, and I am with you. Yes, I'm right here. Don't worry yourself. I'm just doing something that you couldn't do for me, but I'm here. I'm right here with you today. Today's Friday, and on a Friday, we try to look at things that happen throughout the week, and also on a Friday, we take your calls, we get interactive, get ready for the weekend, and stuff like that. Let me send out condolences to the Bostic family. I know Miss Marva Bostic since I was a child. And now that I heard what happened to her daughter, her only daughter, her only child, her only daughter. It's really sad. And I want to send condolences on behalf of my family to Miss Bostic. Miss Marva Bostic, as I said, knows me very well. Practically grew up with Miss Bostic. And I'm really sad to hear of the passing of your daughter this morning. Well, the unfortunate or the really horrible situation that took place. So I am here with you, Trinidad and Tobago. Today is Friday, as I said before. Friday the what? Friday, the 4th of November, 2022. So much things happening. I also want to send condolences out to my good friend and brother. I heard of the passing of his wife, Mr. Sean Daniel. Let me say condolences to you, my brother, and your family on the passing of your wife. Sad. Really, really sad. When I heard about the passing of Mr. Daniel's wife, I want to really say, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. So again, Trinidad and Tobago, we need to keep some people in prayer, and we're going to continue to do that. All right.
It's about to rise, shining all its glory as it lightens up the sky. Oh. And it's saying Merry Christmas. Oh, the ocean sings a chorus as it crashes with the waves, singing Merry Christmas, have a happy holiday. Oh. We want to wish you Merry Christmas.
So you can join me on Facebook. You can join me on YouTube. As we get ready to go into some friendly discussions today. I just want you all to bear with me, because, today is really sad, a really sad day for me. Losing two persons of close interest. So, again, asking you to just bear with me a little bit. It's rough sometimes when you have people who close to you going, and So I wanted to chat with you a little bit on some things that are happening, or some things that have happened during the course of this week. We would have heard of the incident, the horrible incident with the children in the school, which is really sad, right? That's one. Two, you would have heard of the incident. You'd have heard of several other things that took place this week. All right. Again, the launch of the internal elections in the PNM. So you have Miss Karen Nunes Tishara, who has put her foot on her, who have came out and said that she is going to contest leadership with several others. But Dr. Rowley has also indicated that he is going to, he has shown interest in doing his thing also. So we have Dr. Rowley who is saying that he is ready to do his thing. Right? So Trinidad and Tobago, that's another talking point. That's another talking point in Trinidad and Tobago where, the PNM internal elections is happening. And people are putting their foot forward for internal, things for the PNM. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Also, we're seeing happening in the news in the UK. I don't know how many of you are aware of it, but in the UK, the Prime Minister, newly minted Prime Minister of the UK, anyone of you saw what is going on out there? I want to show you. Some of you are some of you that just be, some of you, I remember just one person said to me, what going on out there to do with me? You know that? Yeah, somebody said that to me one time. Have nothing to do with us. Not one thing. But I will show you now what's going on. Let me just show you a photo of what's going on in the UK. Also, Watson Duke continues to beat up on his counterpart or his what do he call them? Fally and friends. Mr. Watson Duke continues to attack Fally and friends, boy. Oh Lord, that Fally and friends statement is so it's so, how do you put it, boy? But yeah, in the UK, the man now coming, the man even spend a good, how to put it? I don't even know how to say it. The man didn't spend no kind of time. Look what's going on here in the UK. Anybody are aware of this? People who are aware of this? Anybody who's aware of this, So come on in live. Join me on Facebook and on YouTube, and you will. I'm going to show you a video. Not a video, sorry. I want to show you this. So, my Facebook people are looking for you guys. Join me. So let me say thank you to all of you coming on, and say thank you very much to those of you joining me on YouTube, on Facebook, and on YouTube, right? So thank you all very, very much for joining me. I really appreciate it when you take time to come on the Street 919 FM and be a part of all that's happening. So while I wait for you to come on, I'll just show you the photo. As you're coming on, you'll see the photo. And look at the statement that is over the photo. This is the UK, the newly minted Prime Minister of the UK. Newly minted. The man not even there for a good month. He's not even there for a good. I don't think so. No, he ain't make a month yet. He ain't make a good month yet. Right? This is what's happening in the UK right now. Alright? So this is what's happening in the UK right now. So that's what's happening in the UK. They're deeply unhappy. The man now reached down. The man now touchdown. No touchdown. And they are deeply unhappy with the brethren. What going on in there? What is that one? Deeply unhappy, they say, no? So they want to write a letter of no confidence. They want to write a letter of no confidence in this young man who just came in. The man even wet his foot good yet. And they already now wanting to pass a vote of no confidence against him. So you tell me, what is this one? What, is that a joke? So that's what's happening in the UK. And some of you who are not aware of the situation in the UK, they have announced that they are in a recession. They are in a recession. And those of you who are not aware also, I think I will pull it up and show you. I will try to pull it up and show you. But if you're not aware, I'll let you know also that, you know what is the pound now? Anybody aware of how much is the pound to the TT dollar? The pound going at $7.66. So the pound used to be $8, $9, $10. So most of you, when you all hear the pound, long time you used to say, hey, 10 to 1, boy. 9 to 1, boy. At least at its bad day, it might go down to 8. You know how much it is right now? It is 7.66. And since then, they have declared a recession in the UK. The UK is now declaring a recession. You understanding that? I want to help people understand what does that mean. Or some people don't really care because we're not living in the UK. You know, we live in Trinidad, you know, Pastor Google. So you talking about it really making no sense to me, you know. But to the real, as Dr. Rowley does say, the right thinking citizens, somebody will sit down and say, if our economy, our first world economy like Britain, who for years we have been hearing that, you know, hey, it's 10 to 1, you know, 10 to 1, you know, 9 to 1, you know, 8 to 1, you know. That's how we used to balance off. 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10. Now it's going to 7. 7. There was a day it went to 6, you know. It went to 7. It's basically stabling off at 7.6. 6. How much is the US to the TT dollar? The US to the TT right now is 6.79. 6.79. All right? So if you don't know, now you know. 6.79. That is the US. Yeah, so that's the pound. That's the pound. And some people still taking it as a joke. But I want to talk to you about this situation that's happening right here in Trinidad and Tobago. So we're going to deal with Rosary Boys and Rosary School and stuff in a little bit. But so yesterday, the Minister of Urban the Minister Faris Alwari yesterday. I'm now seeing some other sad news here on Facebook that I really was not ready to be prepared to deal with. Wow. After being married for 18 years. Wow. Okay, so let me get back focused. Let me stay focused on this here. So yesterday the minister would have made an announcement. He did a press conference and made an announcement. And his announcement yesterday, he would have said some stuff. I want to play it for you. All right? I want to play it for you. So, Minister Faris Alwari yesterday would have said some stuff. And, all right, so the Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, the Honorable Mr. Faris Alwari, would have made some statements yesterday that I want to play for you. Join me on the live. Those of you who would have missed it, I'm not going to play the whole thing because I don't have the time, but we're going to play something from it, and I want you to listen to what Faris had to say yesterday. Mr. Faris Alwari, the Minister of Rural Development and Local Government. All right? So listen to what Mr. Faris, some of the things that Mr. Alwari had to say yesterday. And then I'm going to jump in and let's deal with something else. Even in the midst of that statements being made yesterday by Mr. Alwari. All right, so listen to this.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to today's press conference. I'm Faris Alwari, Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, here to talk to you about unfolding events relative to the local government reform and its operationalization. So I'll dive directly to the course. Today, we had scheduled a meeting of all of local government, every mayor, every councillor, every alderman, every chairman. That, as you are well aware, involves hundreds of persons. The effort was a coordinated effort by which we wrote to every single corporation, every mayor, and then we followed up by way of telephone communications. We indicated that the Honorable Prime Minister would lead a discussion today on the operationalization of local government reform. As you know, we've been talking about local government reform since 1959, and we have had the experience of having decades of discussion. Recently, we passed the local government amendments, and in amending the 9 laws that we have, today we came to report and to collaborate with all of the local government representatives in no less a person than the Honorable Prime Minister leading that charge, and with me as Minister of Rural Development and Local Government taking the particulars of the discussion forward. Today the Prime Minister, in that written invitation, would have made himself available to answer all questions and to get to the specifics. This is an extremely relevant conversation because as threatened storms have demonstrated and as the savages and difficulties of flooding has shown itself, operationalizing local government matters to people where it hits hardest, and that is at home. Recently, we concluded a cleanup and survey exercise of Trinidad. In that exercise, I can tell you that we moved close to 5,000 truckloads of material. We did, in terms of canvassing, over 119 acres of cleaning and cuttings, etc. And we had over 15,000 people involved. In the course of that exercise, we were able to confirm that flooding issues, for instance, in the Penal Debris, the Woodlands area, also in the Caroni area where we've had difficulties, that those issues have been caused by unplanned development that we have identified on the survey aspects. The local government event today was directly intended to address relief issues. The relief issues of funding, the relief issues of manpower, the relief issues of attending to services being delivered. Those were on deck today in the local government reform exercise. And in my memory, I do not recall a prime minister making him or herself available to answer direct questions from all of local government. This was intended to be a first in a very long time. Quite unfortunately, the leader of the opposition last night demanded that practitioners from the UNC arm of local government, which I should tell you is half of the country, that is 7 of our corporations, that they do not attend today's event. And therefore, the information on how we intend to operationalize local government reform was not able to be given directly to the local government practitioners who are representatives of the United National Congress. In those circumstances, it's my obligation to now share that information nationally. Unfortunately, the question and answer coming from the local government representatives themselves was also something that was denied today. In the circumstances, the Honorable Prime Minister did not attend the event today, even though we had scheduled the event and made all arrangements with the announcement by the Leader of the Opposition last night that the opposition would be boycotting today's important event. The Honorable Prime Minister delegated his comments to Minister Robinson Regis, who ably represented the Honorable Prime Minister today in what turned out to be a very successful event, but unfortunately it was an event which was not populated by half of the people who should be there. Every single person else attended at the event. So, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to get to the chase. We have identified a proclamation timetable that is to be presented to the Cabinet. In that proclamation timetable, the 9 laws which we have amended in the local government reform, those 9 laws fall next to be operationalized by proclaiming the laws and saying when they will begin to apply. Of the 88 amendments, 54 of them are capable of almost immediate proclamation. 10 of them will require a month to 2 to have certain mechanisms put in place. 8 of them, 3 to 6 months. 16 of them can go on in the background, and that can take a maximum of 12 months. But in this particular exercise, we are able to immediately begin the Cabinet consideration of how we will partially proclaim the law. This matters as it relates to a few very core concepts of the local government reform. Number 1, we're moving local government from 3 years in cycle to 4 years. Number 2, the municipal council will be created. That's similar to the House of Representatives, where government and opposition all sit together in the House. And joining them would be the Executive Council. The Executive Council is similar to your cabinet. In that exercise, moving your Executive Council into full-time employment is another feature of the law. And that full-time employment means, and is very important to the nation, because the local government election cycle is going to be asking people, in the event that you win, you have to be prepared to give up your other employment and to be dedicated solely to full-time employment, much like the THA secretaries and exactly like ministers of government. The next feature is the ability for the corporation, through the hand of the Executive Council, to instruct the CEOs of corporations. And that means that much needed relief that corporations have been asking for can no longer find any obstacle of a CEO who does not align him or herself with the desires or wishes or immediacy of the local government request that the councils make by resolution. The next aspect was to talk specifically and directly to the manner in which we finance local government. And that financing of local government involves the implementation of property tax. Live examples of how property tax would be calculated, the 15 areas of where property tax would go to came in for discussion today. And by way of an example, I'll remind that residential property tax is calculated at 3% of an annual rental value. That's an estimated value. If you take a minister of government who receives a housing allowance of $12,000 per month, that minister of government would be working with a rental value of $12,000 per month. That, when you translate 3% of that and you minus the deductions, a high grossing estimate like $12,000 per month, you would pay a maximum of $324 per month in property tax. Multiple examples were prepared so that local government practitioners
and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
91.9 is counting down 91 days of Christmas. Yes, 91 days of Christmas. It's karaoke, prizes to be won, giveaways. It's the 91 days of Christmas on the street. 919 FM.
I could sing a good serenade. Oh, it's Christmas.
Every Friday, it's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays with MC Duke and Selector Kochi from 6 straight to 9 p.m. blazing all the latest and past soca hits. So remember, make it a line, make it a day, rock and come in, you know. It's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays on the Street 919 FM. You don't know.
Trinidad and Tobago, this Saturday, November 5th, from 3 p.m., we present to you an experience you'll never forget. A flash to the future with imagery and creations beyond your imagination. Come indulge in the epicness that will lead to the mother of all carnivals. The revelry, the freedom, the excitement that you once encountered, recreated and re-envisioned at the Queen's Park Savannah, the home of carnival with tradition and culture and the heart and roots. With guest performances by Nadia Batson, Bungie Garland, Iwer George, Nyla Blackman, Tobago Mud Band, Tobago Limbo Group, Pretty, Deb, King of the Juve, Exodus and Invaders Orchestra, just to name a few. We invite you to bring the entire family and come witness the introduction to Carnival 2023 for free. You won't want to miss this. Brought to you by the National Carnival Commission of Trinidad and Tobago.
This is Wayne Delamore, Head Consultant and Director of Natural Health Solution. With over 15 years of experience in clinical nutrition and microscopy, we specialize in early detection and prevention. We incorporate evidence-based nutrition and science-driven analysis. Tune in to our educational program every Wednesday
from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
right here on the Street 91.9 FM. For appointments, call 222-2189 or 304-5816. At Natural Health Solutions, we offer a natural solution to healthy living.
Hi, Trinidad and Tobago. This is yours truly, Pastor Charles, streaming live from Port of Spain, Trinidad, Marva Road, 91.9. Our services start from, 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning from the first, the second, and last Wednesday of the month. We are going to have a T-R-M-E time in the presence of God. We will be praying, praise God, for our nation. We'll be praying for families. We'll be praying for those that are sick and those that are in need. Tune in to the best station, 91.5 FM, Street Live, Port of Spain, Marava. The blood of Jesus over your family. Plead the blood over your family.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God Turn your radio on.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. to the Children's Hour Worship Ministry of the Word and the Family Forum every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Law and You, and every Friday evening from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All Night Prayer Live, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. For further information, call 753-1113 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Share the line. Share the line. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the line. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the line. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the line. The Street 919 FM.
What is being requested to be paid, and very importantly, the 15 areas that taxation is used for could go into operation. Let's get very immediate. It means that revenue such as this could be put to the immediate use of pumping flooded areas when those events happen, could be put to clearing drains and riverways, etc., that fall under local government. We were also today speaking about operationalizing what is vested in local government, and therefore the input of all members of local government across the spectrum in Trinidad is critical, because far too often people complain that they're not being serviced by local government, and the truth is that they couldn't be serviced because local government had no responsibility, because the last time that any assets were vested in local government was the year 2000. Therefore, the exercise today was to have the interaction amongst local government coming out of our survey side of the campaign that we did in the Clean and Survey campaign to confirm the way ahead to bring lands and assets into the corporations so that the citizens of this country can be serviced by the corporation in which they live. On paper, there would be no responsibility because those assets were not vested. In treating with further local government operationalization, the hiring issue was critical for discussion today. And the government, of course, pledges that in allowing for the corporations to hire directly, in addition to Public Services Commission and the Statutory Authority Service Commission, in having that third avenue of employment and discipline available, the consultation process with the councils and with elected members and appointed members, and very importantly with the trade unions, where there are recognized majority unions, that process had to begin today. And therefore, the Minister of Public Administration, the Prime Minister, the Attorney General, the Minister of Rural Development were all present today to engage in that very important, if not mandatory aspect, if you look at it from a moral side of the equation, of consultation that was intended to move on today. Ladies and gentlemen, when we view the fact that we have engaged 15,000 people in the National Cleanup Campaign, when we have engaged 119 acres of clearing, where one cemetery alone is 22 acres large and involves 231 people attending to its state and condition, the people of our country are begging for their representatives to join in reform that matters most, that is the people on the ground. To the people of Pinal Debe Regional Corporation, where significant flooding issues have been identified to be blocked watercourses. I am sure people of Caroni, people of San Fernando are all equally aligned with the representatives' views that they need to have the power to address these issues. Having the revenue from local government available to local government, having the manpower and hiring ability, having the very basic issue of whether somebody will continue to represent you because they are available full-time to go into local government. These are critical issues to be answered, and the time is now. I note that the boycott of the opposition was led by none other than the political leader, Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, the member for Siparia, and I am just in a sense of despair that the practitioners of local government have been denied a proper opportunity to engage in meaningful discussion and to face and to have face them none other than the Prime Minister and the Minister with responsibility for this exercise, which is me today as Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. To all of these assets, when a need for pumping arises, when an allegation of a sluice gate working comes, this is what local government is about. It matters to people. It matters that we achieve the mission that we have set out to. In the circumstances, the government wishes to make this call to all members of local government. It is time for us to operationalize decades of discussion. This operationalization, to be meaningful, requires participation. People who are in charge of policy, that is sitting governments, have an obligation to present themselves for questioning. Today, the Prime Minister made arrangements for the Prime Minister to be questioned. Open microphone by all members of local government. The Minister with responsibility in this operation, Minister of Rural Development, Local Government, I made myself available for opening questioning by everyone, unscripted and on an open microphone. The Attorney General was present. The Minister of Public Administration, Alison West, who's also acting as Minister of Finance, was made available today. When we cry out for attention and we say to people, listen to us, hear us, there can be no greater and more important opportunity than taking these opportunities into reality by turning up, by asking the questions, by making sure that we're able to go back to each and every one of the people that we represent and tell our version of what we understood. Because today was a script intended for public dissemination. So, ladies and gentlemen of Trinidad and Tobago, the government will press on with further consultations. The government will engage the trade union sector. The government is able in its operationalization to approach the cabinet to ask for nearly 54 out of the 88 clauses in the legislation that has been passed to be considered for immediate partial proclamation, with 10 of them further a month to 2 from now, 8 of them thereafter, 16 of them after that. It is important as we ready ourselves for a local government reform process that people have a degree of certainty and that their contributions can be entertained. In this circumstance, the update in relation to the workings of property tax, where at the very highest, I've given you an example, you're looking at $340 per month, by way of example, for super grade housing, as they call it in the arrangements. That would be what a property tax on the residential level would look like. How we distribute from very low populated area concentration factors to high populated. So San Fernando has a high residential factor, but Mayaro may not have, by way of an example. How we balance those scales is part of the contemplations of the government, and we will continue to push that narrative forward. I'd just like to make a clarion call to all practitioners of local government, especially all of the practitioners who did not turn up today by way of a boycott by the leader of the opposition. Our constituents, each and every one of them, require us to deliver services. The Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government is in the process of operationalization. We've had a very successful campaign that our cleanup and survey has demonstrated. It is imperative, if we are representing in a system of governance, that we participate in a system of governance. The Honorable Prime Minister has presented himself by way of written invitation in today's contemplation to be questioned and to provide answers and to provide policy and other details. I have done the same. The Attorney General would have done the same. The Acting Minister of Finance today and the Minister of Public Admin equally so. So, ladies and gentlemen, notwithstanding the fact that we had a successful run with those who turned up today, I think it imperative that the national cry is one of asking representatives simply to turn up. Turning up is the start of getting business done. May I open myself to your questions, please?
Right. So, that was Mr. Faris Alwari, right? Mr. Faris Alwari, the Minister of Rural Development and Local Government. So you just heard him, and you know, some people forget, you know, some people just forget in this country really fast, right? So you remember when Miss Bisessa would have told them don't go, right? I wonder if you all remember that. Let me show you. Just want to give you a gentle reminder now, if I open up the phone lines. You know, some of you all just forget. Some of you always say we not balance. So we balance it off. So I'll balance it now. I'll play Miss Bisessa. Right? I'll play Miss Bisessa. You know, I remember my father saying one time, he used to tell Daddy, say, Daddy, you're not balanced. He said, my name is balancing. All right, so look at this. Daddy was different today. Look at this.
So people, don't be fooled by this incompetent and lazy Prime Minister. And I will be very disappointed to see you all sit down like a little fowl in a yard. Yes? You have to support your party. You say you support country before party. Well, go to hell. Go to hell. So make me proud tomorrow. Boycott that forum tomorrow. Stay home. Stay home.
You remember that? Huh? I wonder how many of you remember that. Some of you would have forgotten. Well, I just brought it back to your remembrance now, so that you wouldn't say, well, no, all they're saying they have no proof of it. With the evidence, well, we just showed you the evidence a while ago. Okay? We just give you the evidence. You want me to play it again? All right, I'll play it one more time. All right, I'll play it one more time. For those of you who would have missed it, I'll play it one more time, okay? So join me on the live. What are your thoughts about 4 years? 4 years for a councillor. What are your thoughts about it? So I'll open up the lines, hear your views. Ms. Bisessa is saying that the government is afraid of going to the polls. That is why they have postponed the local or given themselves 4 years, or given the 4 years, because the Prime Minister afraid to go to the polls. And let me just say, a speedy recovery to the Prime Minister. I'm just seeing on social media and from the Prime Minister, on the Prime Minister's Facebook page, that he has contracted COVID again. Yes, he has. All right, so we send some, speedy recovery to him. So we hope that he does recover quickly. All right, so for that, now we know that he has to, now stay away a little bit. So let me show you Ms. Bisessa. How many of you would have remembered Ms. Bisessa on a Monday night forum when she would have said this?
Don't be fooled by this incompetent and lazy Prime Minister. And I will be very disappointed to see you all sit down like a little fowl in a yard. Yes? You have to support your party. You say you support country before party. Well, go to hell. Go to hell. So make me proud tomorrow. Boycott that forum tomorrow. Stay home. Stay home.
Right. Hello, good afternoon. I'm going straight to the phone lines. 342.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google, and welcome. Had a happy vacation, I suppose.
Yes, I had a very good vacation.
Yes, and those people who represented you, they were very well. And for the recovery to the Prime Minister, good day, everyone. Pastor Google, I think that's a good idea of giving them enough time to prepare and take care of the people they were put there to serve. Because, you know, we would say 2 years is enough, but there's a lot of people you have to attend to. And then you have to do a lot of surveying, a lot of walking before you could also talk to the Member of Parliament. And I hope that they will do a good job at it. I'm not saying that the people before have not done, because a lot of lawyers, people in profession would now have to give up that and give people who can spend the time to do that. Pastor Google, I hope they would not go Monday night and say what they heard Mr. Harari saying, because they have not listened. And it's very shameful to hear that clip again, and it's all about the people, like Mr. Harari had said. It's about the people you represent, and you are getting paid. And you don't let one individual, is your leader, yes, but is your leader paying you to represent the people? Is it taxes the people paying you? And they want your representation. So anytime you abandon them or abandon anything that is discussed concerning them, you should not be paid. Have a good afternoon.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, welcome back. I hope you had an enjoyable trip. Good afternoon to all the callers and listeners on 91.9 and Constructive Talk. I am all for anything that will bring change and positive change, because with change, you'll have to make yourself uncomfortable to get comfortable. So if there has to be a change in the way that we do things in terms of the local government reform, and we have always been asking for that, for councillors to get more autonomy, that councillors will be able to have the money accessible there, easily accessible for the burgesses, that the corporation be more staffed and get more funding and all that. So if anything is done to alleviate all that stress they have, in that the corporations and the councillors get a lot more autonomy and they have easily accessible money to treat to the burgesses, I'm all for that. And the increase in the amount of years, I'm all for that too. It means to say that a council will get enough time to do what they need to do with all the resources that they have with this new structure that they bring in. When Ms. Kamala Prasad speaks about a lazy Prime Minister, I think she has to remember that her own people used to say that she had a 5-day weekend. So it means to say that her time in the Parliament was greatly diminished. That is laziness in my mind. Not a Prime Minister who is always there showing up for the work, right? So when she talks about laziness, she's speaking about herself. Well, also she speaks in terms of, there's something I should have mentioned, or how that they are afraid, the PNM is afraid to face the polls and all that. She has to remember that when the 5 years was up, she went on to extra 3 months and 14 days to try to see what they could do to try to get more votes and all that based on the things we are coming on. So when she ascribed things to people, she has to look herself in the mirror and speak about it. You see, if you're a Prime Minister who is not afraid to make the harsh decisions in the interest of all of Trinidad and Tobago, if you're afraid to do that, you will worry about the nonsense Kamala Prasad does say. But if you're one like Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, he's very transformational. He won't have time with that, because the truth is there, and he just needs the soldiers now who on the ground on another level just to carry out the message. He's not afraid to make the hard choices or the hard decision in the interest of all in Trinidad and Tobago. So he don't bother with Kamala Prasad Bissessar. And that's how we have to do. She to write sure she's relevant now. If the UNC need to have any chance, they need to change and move. She come with the same old rhetoric with a band of senators who just the deplorables, a bunch of deplorables who is about chaos, mayhem, and confusion, bacchanal. and using negative things to try to engender themselves to people. So we have to just move away from there and bring the truth, bring the good news, bring the good vibes, we love everything, and they will become like nothing in the society, because people want a change, people want progress, people want to go forward, especially coming out of COVID-19, where the whole world has changed, where technology has changed, the way we do business has changed. The whole world is going through some situation with money and all that. So we need good ideas and new ideas, and we will get that with Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley and his team, a transformational leader. And get well soon, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. I love you. Bye.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon, caller. Hello, good afternoon, caller.
No, what happened is that the councillor, Mr. Sammy, is complaining now that they mightn't have enough time to do the reform within the corporation with the local government reform. But I want to tell Mr. Sammy and the other 6 members, all you followed Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa and didn't attend the meeting. That was for all to explain what is going on. So what is going on right now, Mr. Sammy? It is being implemented and all you have to follow suit. What I want most of all is an auditor in all the corporations. Not the auditors in the corporation, auditors from the Auditor General Office in each corporation, so that the books will be audited, that the money will be accounted for, not mismanaged, but spent on the population and the budgets for their needs and wants in their corporations and in all constituencies. Thank you very much, Pastor Gugu.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Gugu. But I believe that the people of the country, both UNC and PNM, should just get up one day and tell Ms. Kamala Prasad, leave the country, leave the people, let the country operate and prosper. Because they are just blocking and obstructing everything like a grater that fall in a bucket of water. Somebody put their hand in this. Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, everybody, you have neighbors. Your neighbors watch your neighbors in your face when you tell them good morning, or you just say morning. You cannot watch your neighbors and say good morning or good evening or good night, because of the things that they're doing to this country. Mr. Counselor, do what you're doing and get other people, encourage them, show them the point, show them the way. Because if this is following Ms. Prasad Bisesa blindly, Ms. Prasad Bisesa, let this country prosper. This is a model nation we have here. No other country in the world is like this. Why you want to make it worse? And I don't understand you. Nobody understands you besides the people following you blindly. I don't know what it is, like the 500 million that we're missing still. As you tell them, if you get some of it. Because what is going on? Google, thank you.
All right, Mano. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. All right, I'm going back to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google.
Hello.
Yeah, you hear me, Pastor Google?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, Pastor Google. So, just 3 quick points. First of all, this bill is not what the UNC would support. I'll tell you why. Because it presents a bit more accountability from the regional corporations to the Ministry of Finance. That is, accountability obviously is not the strong suit of the UNC. Secondly, if you look at the election map in this country, at the end of the night, if you look at the map, you would swear that UNC will win election, even though they lose, because vast swathes of this country, the rural areas in this country, right, they most times are won and governed over at the local government level by the UNC. And let me urge those people who support the UNC, listen to this station, to go back to their representatives and let them know that this will benefit UNC areas way more, right, than the urban areas which happen to be PNM. And thirdly, before I leave, now the 4-year model has been adopted in Tobago. Tobago is essentially, the THE is essentially a regional corporation. I don't know when last you went to Tobago, Pastor Google, but in the road infrastructure and the standard of living in terms of public works is much higher than Trinidad. Right? I was actually surprised the first time I went to Tobago, the quality of roads. I'm talking about that road between Charlottesville and Bloody Bay. Right? It's not even a pothole, Pastor Google. So that 4-year model has worked in Tobago, and I believe they looked at that model, right, and they say, you know what, we'll adopt it here in Trinidad. So, Pastor Google, look, all these attempts by the UNC is just being obstinate and recalcitrant. Thank you very much, Pastor Google. And let me thank the Prime Minister for doing what is necessary and wish him a speedy recovery. Thank you, Pastor Google, and please get home safely.
All right, thank you very much, caller. Hello, good afternoon. Let me see if I have another caller holding it. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google. Real spook, caller. I never see a person so Pastor Google. I want to see a country go and in an audible way and move as a national person. I will go on with the opposition leader, although I know she's hurting. It's 2015 and 2020. This woman don't sleep in it. All this woman concerned about election. It's election she is concerned about. So when she's saying about Dr. Rowley, afraid. What about 2015 when she started extra 3 months and 14 days? She constantly put her foot in her mouth. Let us, you're drawing with the government in order because of the Trinidad and Tobago. Yellow and red could fight. You can put on one, but you see what come to the country, they are nationalists. Please. I just listen to somebody can see, and then Pastor Google. If you share them come, so if it's here, it has who have money in the corporation to pay the workers. He are paying the workers and them because of why? Yeah? They're not thinking about Trinidad and Tobago. They're only thinking about yellow and red. I don't like the red. So I will do anything to make the red look bad and come out of office. Why then people should be more knowledgeable than that? There's someone done live she life already. All the young come up and think about all the children, all the grandchildren. Think about the future. Fed up for them with this stubbornness, man. We want the country to elevate, to move on. And then we the first people that we concerned about hole in the road, flooding, grass to cut. And they want to see the country move forward at all by just have to pass over the younger set have to demolish all that kind of negative movements. They have to move positive because they want to see a country grow. Not to remain one way. You see, down by she have plenty people down by she suffering. Plenty people don't suffer outside. And I like the phrase because why? It's my same type, so I go take all what she do me. Utter nonsense. I'll pass the go.
All right, thank you very much, caller. All right, so taking your calls on 342-0081, 342-0081, 771-1791. Do you accept or do you agree with the opposition leader that the reason why we're not having any local government election right now, well, the government would have said why. The bill was proclaimed and local government has now transformed into 4 years, not 3 years anymore, but 4 years. And the opposition leader is saying that the reason why they would have proclaimed it and the reason why they are running with it is because they're afraid to call, the Prime Minister is free to call a general election. That's 1. 2, isn't it strange too that we're talking about we want to see Trinidad reach their first world status, right? But there are things that are required for us to reach the first world status that we're not allowing to happen. So do you agree with the opposition leader? What are your thoughts about what was said? And again,
so let me see